the revelation that Task Force Valkyrie has the children has very evidently went rogue, is engineering a bioweapon, is experimenting on captured individuals with several different strands of a virus. And this is probably just the top of the list when it comes to their crimes. I believe Frederick was also getting ready to leave.
Yeah, he was stepping out of the room to muse things over, well, alcohol. Trying to decide what next kind of deal.
This was a turn. Go ahead, Sasha.
The problem is that these kids have been taken to the Pentagon. So even if it's a rogue faction of Task Force Valkyrie that is the ones doing the experimentation, they've got a lot of guns between us and them.
We know that the kids are taken to Pentagon, or we think they're taken to Pentagon. I'm trying to find out, is there any chance of this being still a rescue mission of sorts?
I mean, we all saw the data on the laptop.
And that says that they're taken. Are we gonna go try to get the kids from wherever that lab is in Pentagon? Or are we gonna go try to stop these guys from doing it further? Like, it's almost like several ways of doing this. And each makes me feel bad that we are not taking the other route kind of thing, but...
What other route do you see?
I mean, if we go stop these guys, the Pentagon, they may just increase the security, move the kids, we may not get a second chance. If we go to the Pentagon route, these guys may go to ground. So what I'm saying is, between these two options, or any other option, the moment we pose ourselves, not all options will be in the cards after we act. That's what I meant. They'll react somehow.
Well, depending upon how we go about this, you're right. We could fail and they move the kids. Or more likely, failure is going to end with all of us in a shallow grave out on some black side.
Even in success, they'll probably move the kids. In success, they'll probably definitely move the kids, or themselves go to ground. Now, remember last time we met with them, they weren't too high an opinion about us. This is our anonymity. They're not thinking we are a threat. If we make ourselves as a threat, they'll respond in kind. I mean, this is the government we are talking about.
Well, my impression is that they're not all on the same page.
That's what I gathered too. Is there a way for us to perhaps get somebody from the agency to give us a bit more info? I mean, we got their laptop, we pieced together, but nothing helps an insider. I am gonna go out on a limb. If you got a friendly insider...
Well, we only know maybe two people that are in there. There's that one feller that flipped you on your back, and then that other feller what drove us there.
That guy didn't have to save us. He could have let the V's take us out and drop the bomb on them. I would go the first guy took us to the headquarters and did something else. So among the two, I'm gonna go. The first guy seemed much more upfront and helpful in a master way. But that's me.
I didn't get his
So-
name though. I don't suppose y'all did.
He gave his contact number because we were trying to find him out. He gave a business card or something, or gave us some number, if I recall correctly. My old flip flop. Just check it. Am I?
Wait, didn't we smash the Pope phone?
That's it. This is a new one.
Okay.
Remember, UPS delivered, picked it up. Still old phone, still flip flop, but the new Pope's old phone.
The new old phone.
New old phone, yes.
Real quick though, Frederick, is there a specific bar you're heading to?
The other room.
Oh, the
Come on,
other.
you think we don't got a
mini bar.
case of...
Everybody just hears the bottle top clatter against the floor.
Freddie, I'm shaking my head. Freddie,
Come on, we
Sunday
we
meeting.
just learned that the government's actually bad, and not just bad because they're taxing us. Like, come on, I'm allowed to have a drink.
Wait a sec, Freddie. You can't.
Freddie.
You're a minor.
Dino miners in our group.
You've been holding that in this entire
Yeah.
game, haven't you?
I've been waiting to be on stream when he starts drinking. Wasn't there last time.
We'll allow it. But
Got
you're
my
on
joke
thin
in.
ice.
I had to get at least one joke per campaign. We may continue.
So we have a contact that's in Task Force Valkyrie, some of whom are kidnapping kids, some of whom aren't. How do we know that our contact is going to be of the opinion that we shouldn't be experimenting on kids? Because if he's looking at it saying, well, this is a necessary thing, he could then just turn around and warn them they could move the kids. How are we going to feel this guy out for where his loyalties lie?
That's where your sweet talk
So-
comes in, Sasha. You got to talk him somehow
So
without you.
risk. It's a risk we either take or we go over his head.
There's a third alternative, guys. Last few times dealing with these objects and places, a few cases that I believe if I get sufficiently close, I may be able to get some information from him without him even consenting to. I don't wish to do that, but if we come to a head and the kids are at that, all we would need is me being nearby and you guys talking to him. You know, Matt, I dislike this stuff. That makes me feel like I'm going to the other side, but if we need it, we need it.
How detailed are the lists on their laptop? I mean, did they make it easy for us and name all of their conspirators?
Not, they don't have like a members list. They
A
do
roster.
This laptop specifically has a collection of names and locations and project names. So it's one of those things. This particular laptop seems to have been somebody that was, terminology here would be cataloging the individuals that they've taken.
So it's the victims, not the perpetrators list, effectively. We know two people from the task force. Another alternative is we call our own superiors. I mean, Long Night will have much more information than us. We are not alone either, so we may be able to get some contact to our own folks.
What, you think the Pope's gonna fly all the way out here?
I'm not going that far. His Holiness will have a full agenda. Having said that, cardinals, I'm not leaving that out. If they explain the situation, we may be able to get some contacts. Edward.
I mean, you can call your people if you want. I'm not going to say no, but I still don't think that cardinals override, an official badge of government office.
No, it's a contact. If they know somebody that they trust, that shows the problem Sasha was describing. That at least they will hear us out. Our problem is we don't know anybody. Two people we met, one is definitely hostile. The other saved our ass but got rid of us immediately. We got very little leg to stand on. If there's a friendly to long night, our spears may know. They must be dealing with somebody.
Well, that
Best way out.
Go ahead.
Think. No, done.
I was gonna say that one feller that don't like us for reasons unknown, I suppose. He had what do you have, like a serum or something he needed to keep on him. He didn't look too appreciative of having that. Maybe he has some negativity toward that as well. I mean, we don't know. On the one hand, yeah, maybe he's one of them experimental super soldiers, but he didn't want to be. But he's still stuck in that life. I don't know.
He got volunteered for it.
Voluntold, more like.
I mean, these two guys, either we can try them split and try them, or try them one after the other. I have the contact information for the first guy. The other guy didn't even give us anything. He basically told us to get the hell out of the HQ.
That's true.
Basically. So we didn't live in very good terms with the second guy. We can't go up there, but I think second is we are coming dangerously close to the kneecapping part of the welcome committee with the task force. If we show up in the museum again and try that,
So,
things may get ugly.
I need a decision on what's going. What direction do you want to go? And everybody could literally give me a different answer here.
I'm voting let's follow the first guy, the agent who got the suitcase and drove us. He seemed upfront. He seemed he wasn't. If he wanted to get rid of us, he would have told us not to come to the HQ in the first place. He seemed friendly and, to a degree, as a fat guy, upfront and honest. I'm voting let's contact the guy.
He seems a good start anyway.
I think so. Contingency plan in place. Just in case he don't see, eye to eye.
I'm thinking, okay, so we have the phone number. Do we set up a meet, not discuss it over the phone, and basically control the environment a little bit, or do it over the phone? What do you guys think?
Not over the phone. Never know who's watching, who's listening.
Yeah, it's the feds. I mean, imagine now the moment we pick up the phone, anything can be there. Freddy, Sasha, what do you guys think?
There's no way the five of us are getting the kids back alone, and this seems to be our best opportunity to reach out for allies.
Internal allies, at least, yeah. Ready?
I think we're screwed no matter what we do, but we gotta try anyways, I suppose, don't we?
We do. All right. pull the old flip-flop, dial the phone on speaker right on the table in front of all 5 of us.
It rings a few times. Before the voice that you recognize picks up. Hello? Can I ask who's calling here?
Our paths crossed, Agent. About a week ago, we were facing some adversaries that you helped us. I'm giving the address, basically, the street that it took place.
It's pretty bold. If I'm not mistaken, the orders from up high were to for you to evacuate the city. Am I mistaken?
About
We're
that.
we're not technically in this.
Not technically in the city, of course. Of course.
We are not in the. There is no violation of our agreements in that, but there is a new level of facts we discovered, Agent, and you have been upfront with us, and we have been upfront with you as colleagues of a sort. We wonder if we can get together for a friendly meet, maybe outside of the city in a cafe of sorts, so we could discuss this new fact we came across, and we wanted to get your opinion, nothing more. That may be of relevance to you as well, the facts that we have found.
I suppose we can meet up. Do you have a location in mind?
I'm just gonna put it on hold. Guys, where's the safe cafe or something that you think?
You can go
Gas
find us a
station
Waffle
attack?
House.
Waffle House? Yeah. All right, Waffle House on.
How about you and I wait outside just in case?
Yeah, he might not take too kindly to being surrounded by too many folk, especially considering the information.
It's you guys are the tactical experts. Yeah, that's that part is there. Yeah.
Well, he's a tactical expert. I just like guns.
I think I turned that on. The Waffle House at XY. In an hour, maybe? Hour and a half?
All right. I'll be there. Guess I'll meet you there.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
So I think there's probably one more thing we need to do, unless we already did it and I wasn't paying attention. Did we make copies of what there's on this laptop? Because he's going to want to see evidence, and if he decides to take that evidence and do nothing with it, we might need to have some backups.
Yeah, someone got a thumb drive?
What's a thumb drive?
Like
I'm showing my phone. You think I presented it to my phone?
I mean, we've got the one with the fancy hacking software on it, but I don't know if you want to keep the two on the same device.
I don't think we'd give that one away. I'm gonna go through like a drawer. It's got a load of old foreign currency, dead batteries. You know the drawer. It's.
I'm sure
everyone's got one.
I'm sure you guys have a thumb drive. You're not computer illiterate, technically.
I'm computer illiterate, but not all of us are.
So you want to make copies of everything?
That's my vote.
Okay. Unless there's anything else, we're gonna move forward.
I want to do one thing.
What is that?
Just to email Rick and say the email just reads, if you don't hear from me, release the material.
All right, I'll make sure that it ends up in every single. Well, okay. Let me rephrase what that message is gonna say. All right, I'll make sure to give it to somebody that will make sure it'll be in every single magazine all across the globe in 24 different languages.
Appreciate it.
I think
don't
we
come
did
out.
good.
If we don't come out of this, at least we blow the lid off something.
Solid, real solid. I don't know how to do it, but it was mad. Do we do any tactical prep? I mean, the conversation. You know these guys. It may be that 6 SUVs come in and they just spray bullet the whole Waffle House. There's many things that could go total AWOL in a situation like this. Do we do any preparation or getaway car or whatever it is?
Bobby and I will be outside. If there's a few of them, we can get away. Multiple SUVs is 5 against however many, and I don't fancy our choice. Chances right there.
Okay. Whew. Yeah, this is.
There was time to pray, Padre. This is it.
It's, believe me, I am beseeching divine guidance here since the last 15 minutes, and I will be throughout the journey. I am confident we are on the righteous path, and our actions are going to resolve this on the kids' favor. Inspiration I'm trying to give Storyteller.
Is that a roll? I believe
It is.
I believe it is.
So it is. It's manipulation and expression.
That roll.
Yeah, let me just do that. The presence and expression. All right, so I'm doing good, and yes.
One success.
Yeah. I don't get inspired, but you have inspired condition now.
Who?
It's a
For the
group.
scene.
Oh,
It's a group minus me.
Can't partake in his own inspirational speech.
Basically.
Can't pump yourself up.
I know. Sounds like self-help. I also. It's not
Just spend a
self-help.
vitae. Come on.
Sasha, we will be. If we go in this direction, yes, we won't be mortal hunters for too long. Shall we just in case I'm getting the Glock, trust the Glock on the side, being the preacher and whatnot.
As time goes by, show up to the Waffle House, and the individual that you first met is sitting, kind of gestures for you all entered the building. I remember some people are going to stay outside. I believe that was Robert and Edward.
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
At the very least, so Sasha, and Freddy and Bishop are going in.
So the three of you see him wave over.
They are going way back and just checking the place first. I mean, does it look like some guys that look like they are trying to look like they belong there, but somehow government boots, government shoes, some bulging weapons.
Peeking over the newspaper.
Is there some evidence
Fireholes
of
cussing
more
it.
agents?
I mean, honestly, it's a Waffle House. Most people there kind of look a little shady, look a little strung out.
Old grizzled cops sitting on the counter drinking black coffee.
Yeah,
Right, so
like,
is there anyone that doesn't look suspicious? Who looks
Exactly.
too normal?
It looks normal.
Where's the like middle-aged guy in like a gray t-shirt and jeans?
You've just described Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Okay, yeah, where's?
Where's the Walter?
We could use him right now. We gotta go.
however, he's still. Give me perception, I guess, since you want to scope the
Okay.
place.
With and composure. Alright, let's do that.
And in the meantime, Robert and Edward, what are you, the two of you, doing outside?
Probably Robert would just be walking around, maybe looking for. I mean, similarly to examining the people in there, but outside, anybody's sitting in a black SUV or some other unmarked thing, just kind of casually looking around, walking.
I'm going to stay by the car and see if anything's looping.
All right, so especially for looping, go ahead and give me a perception. Robert, since you're not really looking for something specific, and I already have 3 people rolling for the inside, I don't necessarily need you to.
This Roll20 hates this character.
Alright, watch this. I'll get like 10 successes. I got this.
You don't. There's not even a single black SUV in this parking lot. Robbie.
All right. They're just really good at hiding themselves.
lot of really rusted out pickup trucks. There's even an old station wagon that you're probably surprised is even on the road still. It's got
Wood
wood.
paneling?
Oh yeah.
Wait. Shouldn't there be at least one blacked out pickup truck or truck? Because that's the one this fella came in.
That's the key, right? Well, the decked out truck. Yeah.
There's only one.
He's got.
Go ahead.
I was going to say his is the wooden panel station wagon.
There's only one car. There's only one truck with blackout windows, but they've got those massive, almost monster truck style wheels. It's a raised up truck.
Ooh.
It's definitely that. It's that guy in there.
That guy. Yeah. Bet it's a diesel with them big things sticking out the top.
Yeah. But as far as you can tell, nobody's looping, Edward. Especially no black SUVs.
How about the inside? I think we got the rolls on inside.
Inside, nobody that really shouldn't be in there, as far as you can tell.
Okay. Then starting to walk towards them, just waving back, and it's probably on a table that all 2 of us can sit, just sitting down to basically have a chat with him. Thank you for coming, Agent. I know we did not end in the right foot, and it took trust on your side to come. We appreciate that. But my colleagues here, they found something that they want to discuss with you. There's some evidence about involvement of potential some of your colleagues on some things that came across. We just want to know if this is something that is factual, or maybe we were being misled. As you remember, vampires and whatnot, they have no intention of telling the truth.
He pauses. So, what you're saying is you have evidence of what exactly?
Very quiet, like low tone of voice, so we wouldn't be overheard. Some illegal experimentation that will violate the constitutional rights of whoever was involved, involving human children and potentially others as well, for bioweapon purposes, we believe.
Kind of looks at the other two of you to see if you're going to back up, Bishop.
We have a list of kidnapped people who are being used to test bioweapons in the Pentagon, sir. We know that this is a bit of a hot topic in your organization.
Yeah, we've seen what we've run afoul of some of the conspirators, for lack of a better term, and frankly, they're terrifying.
I don't know what we're hoping to get out of this, and I think we're just gambling that you might be under the category of the people not working on this project. Well, the project had a name, didn't it?
Not anything specific. It was just referred to as the project.
Okay. I thought it might have had a...
I think each individual subject is a project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been what I was thinking of.
Like, in the particular, in reference to what Robert just said, such as Project Sigma, codename Grundy, that type of stuff. But that was for specific individuals.
As my colleagues expressed their disgust of the situation, you came across as a decent man, a God-fearing Christian, if I may add. And with that, I'm just pulling the Bible and just putting it on the table with my hand on it. We just wanted to hear you out, as I don't think a God-fearing man such as yourself would be party to something like this. Are you?
At that moment, you hear a door open and begin to hear footsteps approach. Within the next moment, Kristoph, the individual you're talking to, kind of gives a nod, stands up, and Marshall pushes himself into the seat across from you.
Okay.
Of course, Kristoph then, removes the piece on him, the wire.
because of course.
Brown does
Uh,
Marshall Brown does the same. And you actually see Marshall Brown crush his in his hand. Like, you literally hear the device break in his hand, and he kind of sets it down as it kind of crumbles to pieces on the table. Thank you. I kept wanting to call it a desk. Nobody's listening anymore. And he gestures for Kristoph to hand over his, and he does the same with it.
Marshall, what part of it you have heard? I know we got off on the wrong foot, but
They had a wiretap. He heard the whole thing. Come on.
I
Didn't expect that.
I mean, I don't know the technologies nowadays. Was that a mic? That probably was a mic, isn't it?
Yes,
So you heard the whole thing.
He was listening to us. Now, we weren't going after your organization. We left the city. We went about to go do our own business elsewhere, and we just stumbled into it again. So don't think we were ignoring you.
Where did you come across this information?
Lost World Caverns. We were looking for some missing kids there, like I was saying we were going to. We found the information, and we found some kind of shapeshifter or something, and some other strange fellows.
Strange with capital S in the sense of supernatural strange fellows.
Are the other two out there?
They're close.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He claps. He cups his hands together and starts tapping his fingers on the back of his other hand as he begins to think. Yes. The are correct. There are currently two competing ideologies going on in the agency right now. There is Task Force Valkyrie. That's what we call it in polite language. We're still out here trying to take down creatures, monsters, whatever the term you want to use. Then there's the division known as the Program, headed up by somebody. They don't give out their name. We've called, because Program sounds like some Black Ops program. We just refer to them as the director. Their projects are headed up by a doctor, not a colleague of mine. First name Jill. There's a few other people that work in that program, varying specialties. Leans forward onto the table, arms crossed, still absently tapping his fingers against what was the back of his hand, now has moved up towards his elbow. Right now, the current order is to hold, because we don't know what we're dealing with. And it's one of those things, government doesn't really like to move unless they know what's going on, and if they don't know what's going on, it concerns them, and they want to try and figure it out so they can move on it.
Well, unfortunately, it sounds like these kids. Doesn't sound like there's a high graduation rate from the program. So we're trying to recover these children. And if we wait, there's going to be nothing to recover.
Sometimes about twofold, I think you can imagine. Save the kids and save the future kids. So this got to stop. I think we all understand that. It's a bioweapon program in the US soil is won't be allowed.
I deal with conflict almost every day I serve. I am a doctor. I took a Hippocratic oath. I am also a soldier. So I have to walk a very fine line. I choose to do no harm via medicine. Whether or not I do harm through other means is how I distinguish it. When you start talking about bioweapons, that's completely over any sort of line that I draw. The program has been given a specific facilities, not very many. I just know of the main one. I know their reach isn't too far out of the United States right now. They may have connections outside, but it's going to be limited. Their HQ is from my own personal research, because I have dug into this a little bit to see what I could find.
Good man.
Is an underground bunker/research lab that is underneath the Pentagon. But I have a feeling you already know, or at least already have some idea.
Pentagon, Indiana, California, Hanover. The list just keeps ticking on.
There's a number of sites in this, Marshall. Knowing this and knowing this is not the right way to do things, we all are on the same page here, I feel. What can be done to stop them, in your opinion? What can be done to rescue these kids?
That is not an easy question. They do not number nearly as many as us. Well, I say that. Honestly, they're probably keeping a lot of numbers off books, so maybe I should retract that statement. Official numbers, that as best as we can tell, they're a small fraction of Task Force Valkyrie. As for experiments that might be loyal to them and the like, I have no numbers, no idea. That would be something that I just don't have any sort of way of knowing. the look on his face, he's not even trying to hide his emotions. He looks exceedingly concerned. And he kind of falls into a silence as he kind of just looks down at the table, still tapping his fingers against his elbow as he thinks.
I'm looking at the other agent. Is he... I mean, he's also sitting right next to him.
He's standing.
Or is he...
He still hasn't taken a seat. He's kind of got that look of, I don't really want to acknowledge the situation. So he's kind of just looking down at his feet, slightly off to one side. You know, you can tell he's visibly uncomfortable with this discussion.
Conversation. Okay. Do you have any access to these facilities, or do you know someone who may have access? My colleagues, they know something about computers and whatnot. I'm not a computers guy, I'm not an electronics guy, but we may have some people who can do some computer wizardry. Is there a chance of us gaining access, disabling their systems, perhaps with some things that you may know that can give us some level of at least a fighting chance against these? Your involvement, of course, will be kept completely away from anything. It's just, we are just discussing a plan that we'll be executing.
I know there's a couple of I know there's got to be multiple ways in and out. You don't have a secure facility unless you have some exits that people don't know about. You definitely don't want to go through any sort of main entrance because, I mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you'd want some sort of escape hatch or something. Hidden in some sort of innocuous location, like, I don't know, in the floor of a subway or something, I don't know.
Right. Near a subway station, I presume, inside a utility.
No, I was referring to Subway the restaurant, just something completely out of the blue that nobody would expect to look there for a way, for a secret tunnel to get out of something, you know. That's usually how these things work.
Yeah, in terms, of course, Marshall, we understand we are discussing a theoretical scenario here. So, would that, let's say we got exit and entrance potentially worked out, these people that we met on these caves, I mean, they were supernatural. There's no two way of, they're not like us anymore. We were under the impression that Task Force Valkyrie is humans fighting against supernaturals. These were out supernaturals. So, fact is, some lines are, there are no lines on that equation anymore, Marshall. How do we oppose that with being 5-6 of us here?
I think you should call in the other two, because that's a bigger conversation.
Just flip-flop. I'm gonna call the Robert and Edward. Guys, I think both Marshall and somehow Marshall and the other agent are here. Why don't you come in? There's more tactically involved conversations going on. I'm very outside of my depth here.
All right. See you in a minute.
All right.
Grab some chairs. So we got the place for the Robert Antwoord as well. Guys, we were just talking about potentially hypothetical scenario that there could be an entrance to, let's say, subway, restaurant, inn. But as we face some supernaturals, like, what do we do when we go in? I got no idea. The military expertise. What shall we plan for?
Are you?
First thing to know is
Go ahead. You're more tactile.
First thing to know is what we should expect. What's the setup? We're talking security doors, cameras, lasers, trips, personnel.
Stated personnel, I don't have a lot of answers for. Probably most of their personnel, if what I'm led to believe is true, most of their personnel should be scientists, researchers, and the like. Government facility, expect the whole 10 yards, lasers, cameras. Hell, I'd expect automated turrets. In the agency, we've got some rather unique toys that we get to play with. Don't expect something that you would see out in the field, wherever you served. Prototypes and the like. Expect to see that.
Sounds like kicking in the front door is a bad idea. What if they invited us in? Could we get like disguises and just blend and do some nasty work while we're inside and none's the wiser?
Personally, why I think it's smaller than Task Force Valkyrie is it's easier to keep tabs on people.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. But that is speculation.
We got go through the front door, full violence. Go through the back door, stealth. Infiltrate and disguise.
You ever seen what an automated turret can do?
Say what?
Sorry.
Hey.
Edward, what did you say?
You ever seen what an automated turret can do? You want to go full aggression against that?
No, I'm just
Okay,
finding the
no,
options, guys. It's not like one versus the other or anything. Looks like we can either stealth go in, disguise ourselves, try to talk our way in, or go full guns blazing through the front door, which does look like front door blazes almost out of the question entirely. Can we hack their systems and use their own weapons against them? I mean, there are very few people. They must be relying on some. That's why I don't like the computers and whatnot. But few people, that may be their weakness right there and then.
If you're able to get a hold of their systems, that would allow you to get access to their turrets. But everything we're speaking on is hypothetical.
Hypothetical. That is.
I don't have any information that anything I've said is going to be accurate.
Maybe something non-hypothetical, Marshall. Let's say we go against that faction, as you call it. Will your faction be after us? What will happen if that happens in that hypothetical scenario?
I do not have an answer for that. Because too many variables. However, if this is a rescue mission to save children, I say pack your bags and we need to get to DC. Or, let me rephrase. You need to get to DC. And you'll have to figure it out from there. Honestly, the less I know about this, the better.
Well, what if
I
you
was
could
good.
use? What if you can use this? What if we go in and afterwards we give you a call to say we made it out, and then you get to say we need to check on the project. We need to check that everyone's accounted for. And when you find out that 2 of the children are gone, you use that as leverage to shut it down.
Here, here. We may be able to do the so-called dirty work here, but is it possible you and your side to use this to mothball the whole thing? After the fact, of course.
He kind of leans back in the chair and finally somewhat more of a relaxed position. It depends. Government could go in blazing. Government could also want to just put a lid on the entire thing and want it to go quiet. I don't know which way the wind's gonna blow, so I can't say. And it's at this point he kind of stands up. Make what preparations you need to get to DC. Get down to DC. I will have to defer to your abilities from here on out. You have Kristoph's number. Let's leave it at that, because don't need them having a direct connection to me should something turn up.
We'll use it judiciously after the fact. We understand the position that you are in. Is there anything else that maybe we've seen you use some specialized equipment, Marshall. I don't want to put it that way, but this is going way beyond hunting rifles and our trusty Glock. Anything that perhaps from your armory that goes missing, end of the year, you may have to do an accounting check and we got access to it somehow, just disappeared and helps us in the deed.
I think it would be best for you to find your own way of doing this. Our technology is somewhat stretched thin. This is a field HQ. We basically brought enough for the job we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Hunter the Vigil, Critical Measures, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, why must those who hunt monsters hunt themselves?